Hey, what's up? This week we are starting our onions. I'm also making some bagels, and I'm designing a new project for a client. Here we go. All right, so we are seeding onions today. We're starting onions today. I'm just using a mix of coconut coir, some worm castings, a little perlite, and a lot of water. And I'm trying it a different way this year. We're just filling up this whole bin. Then I'll mark out some divots. So what I'm using here is a soil blocker, the small version. But instead of actually soil blocking, as they do, I'm just gonna depress it and use all these dibbles. Dibbles? Is that what they're called? Dibbles? Dimples? Dimples, maybe. To mark out where we're going to put seeds. And hopefully this works. Huh.
Not quite.
Not quite.
So, that's going to compact the dirt. And then...
Yeah, that's just going to compact the dirt, apparently. And then we'll do our best to just broadcast sparingly. So we're going to do these two, in this one. Yeah, okay.
Alright.
So I'm just going to poke some holes in the bottom of this so that we can sit this into another one and water from the bottom. Because if you water from the top, you disturb the soil and potentially could set the seed back a few days, or it'll wash away altogether. All right, that's enough. We're trying some onion seed from last year, and I've been told that onion seed that is old doesn't usually do anything. So we'll see.
Very nice.
So we're going to do these two. So there should be 200 in there. So.
Yeah, give or take.
So what I'm going to do is just kind of
Broadcast.
And then we top it off with soil. So I'm just sprinkling the soil over just to cover them by no more than 1/4 inch, hopefully. And if I get a little bit more than 1/4 inch, I'm sure it'll be fine. But this will make it so they're moist all the way around. And you just kind of compact it a little bit so that there's no air pockets, like tucking them in. All right. And we'll throw a cover on them just to keep the moisture in. Now we'll go throw them on our seed starting station. All right. Here's the station. Turn on the lights.
That's going to be great.
We won't need the lights on for a few days until they start sprouting, so I'll leave the lights off until then. All right, so I wanted to show you a little bit more of the seed starting station that I have. I built this year. In past years, I had just used string to hang these lights, and it was wonky. So this year I decided to actually build a functional unit so I can raise and lower the lights as needed. So what I did here is I used my 3D printer to print some new knobs, but you can unscrew these and it lowers and raises these shelves that I have the lights sitting on. So I can unscrew both of these, lower this down, and then go over to the other side and do the same thing. So as the plants grow, you can raise the lights up so that they're not touching the plants. You can see our onions are starting to grow. It's been a few days. We had 2 packets left over from last year that we just threw into one of these trays. And then we also bought a packet this year that we planted into 2 trays. So we should have at least 200 onions growing in these 2 trays. And if this other tray doesn't grow at all, then that's all right. But I wanted to do this test to see if they actually will grow. And there are a couple growing. So we'll see what happens. Morning. So this week's bread is bagels. The best bagels, actually. But first, I wanted to show you these cupcakes. We made these last night, and they're just so delicious. They're not much to look at, but probably one of the best cupcakes I've had. I gathered from a few different recipes. The cupcakes are just a really good chocolate cupcake that actually has some coffee in it. Then there's a chocolate ganache that we filled inside, and then a chocolate buttercream frosting. So delicious. A little rich, but yeah, they're just great. All right, bagels. So this recipe calls for 538 grams of water, and that's exactly what I got. That's awesome. That doesn't happen very often. All right, we're gonna add our flour. This makes 12 bagels. And we got our salt, just a little bit of yeast, and water. Then we'll mix for 5 minutes or so. All right, 5 minutes is up. We're going to cover and let rise for 1.5 to 2 hours. All right, it's been about 1 hour and 45 minutes. We are going to lightly flour our work surface. That's lightly floured, huh? All right. And this should just come right out-ish. You can see it's puffed up a bit. We're just going to divide them out into about 115 grams. And there should be 12 of them. Well, that ain't right. That's too much. Off to a good start here. All right, 120. I don't want to cut it too many times. Oh, 120. 83. 113. All right. We'll get this. We'll get it down. Oh, 115. All right. Now we're going to pre-shape these. So we need to get them into little balls. So what we're going to do is just kind of pull up until you have a little bit of a ball. And then we do this. And it's kind of like rolling it around, and it's pulling the dough around and in, so it's stretching out the top. So it looks like that on the bottom. And we're just gonna set that off to the side. Next. So whenever you see a recipe that says to pre-shape it into a round, this is the process. No matter no matter what kind of dough it is. And if it's a big one, then you just use both hands and roll it around. It helps if the board isn't floured, because then the dough will stick to the board more and it'll be able to tuck better. All right, we'll cover these and let them rest for 15 minutes. All right, so we've got 2 sheet pans that we're going to line with parchment paper. Then it says to spray them and then sprinkle cornmeal over it. All right, and then we're going to take each dough ball and we're going to press our fingers through and make a hole. And then what we're going to do is you kind of just do this to stretch out the dough, stretch out the hole, so you got something like that. It says gently expand gently expand the hole to 2 to 3 inches in diameter. So that's about, all right, we'll go a little bit more. There we go. That's about 2. Like that. See if I can do this next one better. There, that's a bigger one. Now we get the oven and water bath ready. So oven at 475. We're going to cover these. We're actually going to cover these first. 475. Upper and lower thirds. Now we'll get the water bath ready. Pot. All right, so we got 8 cups of water, salt, and honey. And then we're going to bring that to a boil. All right, so now we're going to put 3 of those in there, let them boil for a minute, and then flip them, and then let them boil for another minute, and then we'll repeat that for the rest of them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Those have puffed up quite a bit. Let's see the difference. All right, keep going. So then last step before they go in, I've just got some minced onion here, and I'm going to dip these in the minced onion. I'm only going to do it to 1 pan. All right, and now we throw these into the oven. 1 on each rack. We'll flip them in 10 minutes and then wait another 10 to 15 minutes and they should be done. Check these out. Oh man. Those those look tasty. Now we just let them cool on a wire rack for however long it takes. Hot, 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 hot. All right, another successful week. These were so good. Look at that sandwich. I had one of those every day for lunch, and it was fire. I think it's how the kids say it. A couple of years ago, I built this basement bar, an island, and floating shelves for a client in Green Bay. She decided to remodel her basement. She loves to entertain, and she needed room to accommodate a bunch of people. So she did this, and she called me and had me build her some cabinets and some shelves. About 3 weeks ago, one of her friends contacted me, and they're redoing their basement and wants something similar. So I just took my original design and changed it to accommodate her needs. So they're doing a bar with an island a bit smaller than the original with some floating shelves. And then they also want an entertainment center with some floating shelves as well. And then before I send the design over to them, I add some color to make it look more realistic. I'm looking forward to this project. The original one was really fun. This one's a little different, so it'll keep things interesting. Break. Beautiful sunrise again. Some kids going to school. Well, we got 4 new chickens last night. We're gonna see how they're doing. Let's see. Open. What's up, y'all? Oh, there's one of them already. All right. So we got, I think he said they were leghorns, but I'm not actually sure. Look at that guy. He's pretty cool looking. Somehow I turned the camera off. Anyway. Yeah, so there's that gray one. And then that one. And then the other gray one is underneath that little play stand there. And then the other one must still be inside. Oh yeah, there she is. They're a lot fatter than than our birds. I think they were spoiled or kept inside or something. Our friends that we got the chicks from this year, her brother was getting rid of his. So we gladly took 4 of his. So there's three gray ones and this one. So yeah, let's start earning our keep here. All right, we'll check on them later. Come on, Maggie. That's it for this week. Check you later.